All right, this one's looking like a main purpose question, and it asks, the main purpose of the fifth argument from lines 38 to 47 is to blank. And again, I'm going to cover up the answers so we don't have a chance to look at them yet. And then you know what to do, rip rap. So rephrase if possible. What does the fifth paragraph do? Cool, that's rip, rephrase if possible. What does the fifth paragraph do? Now we already covered a lot of this during our reading step. Our active reading step when we summarized everything. And what's neat is that we had this first one here. This is very small, I know. Let me zoom in a little bit. We had this paragraph, which was paragraph number 2, which is all about Adam Smith. The main point of that I wrote in the margin was greed is good. And then in the next paragraph, we introduce Aristotle and virtues. And I summarized that as, it's the thought that counts. And so that means that for paragraph 5, which I even denoted here with a little question 5, I wrote, focus on actions is important. Let me skim this again. There is yet another approach, is how this paragraph begins. Instead of rooting ethics in our character or the consequences of actions, we can focus on our actions themselves. Cool. So we had 2 ideas previous. We had Aristotle, and then before Aristotle, we had Smith. And now this paragraph is introducing a third option. So let's go back over to our answer choices and see if anything meets with my prediction that the answer is going to be about providing another option. Let's expose the choices again. The main purpose of the fifth paragraph is to A, develop a counter-argument to the claim that greed is good. That's possible. Provide support for the idea that ethics is about character. Well, we know definitely not. That's what the previous paragraph is about. That's what the Aristotle paragraph is about. C, describe a third approach to defining ethical economics. Oh, that kind of feels like it, but okay. And then D, illustrate that one's actions are a result of one's character. Well, that's very similar to B. That feels very similar to the Aristotle one. So now we're between A and C, developing a counter-argument to the claim that greed is good, and C, describing a third approach to defining ethical economics. I would say that I'm going to choose C over A because A is weak compared to C. I wouldn't say that the fifth paragraph, as we read it, directly countermands the idea that greed is good. It doesn't say, like, greed is bad. What it says is, in order to be ethical in the practice of economics or in business, we should focus on our actions rather than our outcomes or virtues. Don't let yourself get bogged down by a choice like A, which seems plausible but is kind of murky. The answer will be pretty obvious and straightforward. And this is the most obvious answer. The fifth paragraph describes a third approach to defining ethical economics. Right? We had 1 with Smith, 2 with Aristotle, 3rd with this actions one.